Hi guys, it's Nancy.Yang via Remax Results right here in Woodbury, Minnesota, representing the Twin Cities. And I wanted to share with you 3 common mistakes that I see home buyers running into. And I thought that this might be some good insight if you're getting ready to go through the home buying process. The first mistake that I typically see is that buyers are sometimes going and they're looking at not just one home, but many homes. And many times they might be in a certain price range. But the first mistake that I see many times buyers are making are not offering a fair price for a home they've seen. Perhaps prior showings have kind of given you as a buyer kind of a skewed view of the home that you're looking at that you do like. So what I typically recommend is that you work with your agent. And your agent's job is, of course, is to do a market analysis to make sure that the home that you're purchasing or making an offer on is priced appropriately. And remember that many times the seller has their own strategy when it comes to pricing their home. They, of course, want to get top dollar, whereas we as buyers many times want to get the best price possible. So just realize that sometimes that seller may be pricing their home just a little bit below the market value, which is why it's so important to work closely with your agent to make sure that you're offering a fair price for that home so you've got a fair shot of winning that property. So the second mistake that I often see buyers running into as we're looking at homes, let's say we find the perfect home, and as we're writing an offer for the home, I see that a lot of buyers right now are expecting that a seller is going to help contribute towards their own closing costs when it comes down to buying a home. So remember that, for you as a home buyer, when you're buying a home, you're most concerned with coming up with your down payment for your house. In addition to that, of course, paying your closing fees, loan origination costs, all the costs that are associated with you being able to get a loan. Now, the seller has their own closing costs, and that typically is compensating their agent for marketing their home. And then, of course, myself, when I'm working with a buyer, that's how we're compensated, is to bring the seller a qualified buyer. So what we're really doing when we're asking a seller to pay for some of your closing costs is that we're asking them to take on additional costs, which may or may not be in the cards for the specific seller. When we're looking at homes, we could look at many properties owned by very different people. And let's say that the first home, the sellers are perhaps getting a divorce. They may be fighting over every dollar. There may not be any dollars left for you, for your closing costs. On the flip side, we could also find a home where perhaps the home has been paid off and the seller might think, well, I want to sell my home, and perhaps this new first-time home buyer may need some help with closing costs, and I don't mind if I'm helping them with $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 in closing costs. But I do see that that second mistake that I see often buyers are making is that they're expecting or want to guarantee that a seller is going to pay for your closing costs or home warranties or things like that are considered concessions from the seller. Of course, as your agent, we want to work hard to negotiate these concessions or a portion of them for you. I just like to see, mention it as I see that happen all the time with home buyers that I work with on a daily basis. So the third mistake that I see that happens, when I'm working with home buyers is many times we're so excited about being approved to buy a home that we want to see every single house that's out there, that might meet our criteria, the space, the number of bedrooms, room for our family to grow and explore. And while it's very exciting to do that, homes also sell very quickly. So the real estate market is essentially, it is really a fluid marketplace, meaning that homes are for sale, basically 24 hours a day. And they typically allow showings from between 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night. However, if you saw a beautiful home today, but you're kind of not sure is it the one yet, and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to sleep on this house and I will make a decision in the morning, that house could very well be sold the next day. So I do see that a few buyers, when they first start getting really excited about the process, sometimes they'll get burned because they will wait too long to make an offer. So of course, it's very important to make sure you see enough homes so you understand what are you really looking for in a home. But I also encourage home buyers to make an offer as soon as they see a property that they are interested in, to make sure we have an opportunity to throw our hat in the ring and have the seller consider our offer before they sell to someone else. So again, in recap, guys, the 3 things that I see that buyers commonly make as mistakes are: 1, not offering a fair price for a home; Two, expecting that the seller is going to pay all sorts of costs for you, such as all of your closing costs, for instance. And then the third thing, of course, is just simply waiting too long to make an offer on a property, and it may sell before the seller has time to consider our offer. If you have any additional questions about these things that we've discussed today, or would like to pose any directly to me, I would be more than happy to help. So feel free to reach out to me below. There's going to be more information in the link below. Thanks so much for watching.